Hello and welcome. I'm Yvonne Davis, and in this series, I'm talking about the mysteries of moon magic. So, in part one, I talked about how I learned about moon magic from the book titled Moon Magic by Dion Fortune. And then I talked a little bit about Dion Fortune. I plan to do a more extensive video on her if you're interested in her, because she was a really, really fascinating person in the early 20th century as an occultist and a hermetic alchemist. So I do plan to talk more about her in future videos. And I also talked about how to build an altar. So in this video, I'm going to go further to talk about astrological magic and timing your magic, okay? Because there is this concept of astrological magic, and it helps you to know when to time your rituals so that they can be super, super potent. It's a kind of astrology that we call electional astrology, meaning that we elect the time and day of any event. So, for an example, a magic ritual, and that makes it more powerful. And so this is also called astrological magic when you mix astrology with magic to make it more potent. All right, so let's get on with it and find out how you can become as powerful as any other magician. If you put your mind to it, you can. All right, so let's get started. As you can see, my altar is there in the background, and I did show this in my New Year's video. I was creating this altar for manifesting in the new year, and I've left it up there because it's still very meaningful. It's still speaking to me, and I am really trying to deepen my relationship with my spiritual guides. The ones that are not in physical manifestation, not physically incarnated, but are in another realm. And so the thing about doing, like, there are techniques that you can use to help with manifestation. They're not absolutely necessary because it's the energy that matters. It's the consciousness that matters. And like I said, I'm going to talk about those in a couple other videos in this series. But something like this can really help with focusing energy, because the focus, the clarity of your intent creates alignment, and it's that alignment that helps with manifestation. So let me say a little bit more about manifestation. In some ways, the New Age movement and I think it's called the New Thought movement, which was like the beginning of the New Age movement, that went back like 100 years ago. That it's like been a double-edged sword. In some ways, it's helped us to understand manifestation, but in some ways, it's been harmful because it gives the impression that all you have to do is think positive and visualize, like The Secret as an example, and that things will just appear in your life. And most people who speak about this stuff legitimately say it doesn't actually work that way. And certainly I can speak from my own experience. And so the reason why it doesn't really work that way, you can't just fantasize about it, is because if all you do is fantasize about it, then all you get is fantasy. If all you do is visualize it, then all you get is a vision. Which is a good starting point, but that doesn't actually bring it into material and physical manifestation. So the best way to explain this is to think about the chakras. So the energy of the cosmos, divine intelligence, is coming down through our crown chakra, and that's located here. And it has to do with the spine and the way humans are upright so that the energy flows down from the cosmos into the earth. And so it's like we are transmitters for divine intelligence to bring things into manifestation. We were born to be creators. So it has to come down there first into the visionary realm through divine intelligence, and then into the sixth chakra, which is the energy of intuition, and it's archetypal consciousness. So I am going to talk about archetypal consciousness as part of this series, because you really need to understand what that means. And I'll talk about it in relationship with Saturn. So the next is your throat chakra, and that is expression. And it's important to understand it's the energy of expression. It doesn't mean it has to come through the vocal cords in order to work. Vocal cords are very helpful to expression, especially in terms of manifestation. But we need to think fundamentally about the energy of expression. That's the most important thing. And then we go down to the heart chakra, and then down to the solar plexus, where we have the third chakra, and that's all about decisions, focus, will. That's a very Saturnine chakra. And then the second chakra is creation, and everything we create, all of our creative energy comes from the second chakra. And then the first chakra, which is where we touch the earth, like it's at the end of our tailbone. It's where the rubber meets the road. You know, I'm sitting on a chair. I'm touching the earth. And that is how we connect with not just manifestation, but also when it comes back up from the earth, the abundance of the earth and how it supports us and feeds us and nourishes us and keeps us alive. So that energy should always be flowing back and forth. And so that, I think, is what you need to understand fundamentally in order to understand why you can't just visualize if you want to manifest. You actually have to bring it all the way down into the physical material realm. That energy has to come all the way down, like through your physical body, like your hands. That's why, speaking, because you're using your vocal cords, can also help with manifestation. You have to use your hands. You have to touch the things of the earth. It's like if you want to harvest food to eat, you have to touch the earth. You have to use your hands in some way. Even if you're using your hands through a tool, you still have to use your hands. You have to touch the earth. That energy has to come all the way through, out of your body, your physical body, and touch the earth, touch the things of this material physical existence. If you want to harvest food, you have to till the soil, you have to plant the seeds, you have to cultivate, and then harvest. And that is all about the energy coming through the physical into the material, okay? That's why fantasy and vision alone won't do it. It's like, like if you want to have a baby, the seed has to meet the egg for the creation, and then comes through out of the womb through the birth channel. So think about that, really meditate on why it has to come down into the physical and material plane. That energy has to come down from the vision. Like if you want to have a baby, you can't just have sexual fantasy. That won't make a baby. It has to come all the way down through the body. The energy has to come out through the body and connect with the physical material realm for something to be born in the material physical realm. That is manifestation. Everything else is just mental masturbation. Okay? That's why it doesn't work if you don't actually take action. All right. So, but yes, there are some techniques for focusing that energy, because the focus of the energy and the intent is what really makes it powerful. It's like a laser beam. Diffused light is nice. It's helpful, but and it helps to illuminate. So it's kind of it's like comparable to this energy up here, in the chakras up here, diffused light. But if you want to actually use that light, like the way you can use a laser beam to cut or do other things with it, that light has to be super focused. And the more focused it is, the more powerful it is. And one of the things that I remind myself of often is something I heard from a spiritual teacher named Rick Jarrow. He said, we have probably, I don't know, 50,000 thoughts a day. And he said, if we could just get 500 of those going in the same direction, we would be unstoppable. And that's only 1%. And sometimes that amazes me, like, surely it has to be more than that. I think the more, the better. The more focused you are, it's almost to the point of obsession. You have to want it that badly. And if you don't want it that badly, other things will distract you, you know. Sometimes just being comfortable will distract you, or crises because they're exciting. That'll distract you. And the whole world is about one big distraction circus, you know, to keep you from your power. As you can see, there's so much involved in successful moon magic. So we've talked about how to build an altar, and we've talked about focus. Focus is absolutely essential. You have to know what you want and set your intention, and then go for it like there's no tomorrow. You need to have a burning desire, almost to the point of obsession, so that you can push out all of the distractions and give as much of yourself to this as you can, okay? That means your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your actions, your beliefs, everything. And if for some reason you're not manifesting, then there's something that's blocking you. And all the blocks are actually internal. They may appear to be external, but they're actually internal. And so we're going to talk about blocks as well. But for now, I'm going to bring this to a close, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.